Could a trade war trigger a recession? Tonight, as a global tariff battle heats up, U.S. trade moves are sending shockwaves worldwide. The Economic Affairs Minister is raising concerns. Plus, we'll tell you the game changer for healthcare, as over 160,000 Bahamians battling chronic illnesses will soon get free medication. The health minister says it's coming, but when? And University of the Bahamas students left waiting for grant payments could finally see relief by week's end. The school making a promise, but will they deliver? Then in our news at 7:30, the former Prime Minister says he isn't buying the Davis administration's defense of its travel spending, why he's calling it a waste of millions in taxpayer dollars. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Over 160,000 Bahamians suffering from chronic non-communicable diseases will soon have access to free medication. And it's thanks to a new initiative announced by Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville. The move comes after the National Insurance Board's chronic drug prescription plan was transferred to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Speaking during the mid-year budget debate, Dr. Darville emphasized the shift would significantly improve health outcomes for many Bahamians. Though he did not provide a specific timeline, Dr. Darville did explain that a series of bills would be presented for debate before the initiative can fully roll out.
Once these bills are debated, passed, and gazetted, my ministry will finalize the necessary legal adjustment, taking us closer to universal health care coverage by way of national health insurance. This move by our administration was foreshadowed by the famous Sanagest report, which outlined the pathway to universal health coverage, completed under the former Christie administration, and once again outlined in our blueprint for change.
The second phase, he says, is universal catastrophic health insurance. Dr. Darville revealed that less than 12% of the country's total population is living with diabetes, and he says the free medication will now be made available at both private and public health care facilities.
This new policy decision by our administration would not only help the poor, the unemployed, but it will also keep money in the pockets of our constituents. But it would also improve medical compliance and keep patients out of hospital, improve clinical outcomes for thousands of NHI patients across the country.
All right, from healthcare to the economy. Are we on the brink of a potential recession? It's a question even Economic Affairs Minister Michael Alkitis is asking amid a growing tariff war between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. U.S. President Donald Trump announced a new 25% tariff this week on imports from Mexico and Canada, alongside a doubling of duties on Chinese goods to 20%. The move has sparked fears of a trade war that could slow economic growth and drive prices up. It comes after years of inflation already squeezing many people's wallets. Well, speaking at an Office of the Prime Minister press briefing on Thursday, Alkitis addressed growing concerns.
And what concerns me more as a minister is the potential impact it has on the economy of the U.S., the economy of Canada, the economy in Europe, because, there's threats about expanding these tariffs. How do they impact the industries? How do they impact economic growth? Will they if they are implemented and persist, are we looking at a potential recession? What's the impact on, for example, the tariffs when they're put on goods coming from China, and then those things are routed through the U.S. to hear what's the impact on, consumer prices, inflation.
Now, the Economic Affairs Minister says right now the Davis administration is observing the situation to monitor what's happening globally and to see if that will eventually have some trickle-down effect on our local economy.
Uncertainty is never good for economies and people who are responsible for planning. So I wouldn't say worry, I would say concerned. But we are observing it, and from that standpoint, should it persist and should it spread? You know, if we have a trade war with the EU and China and the US, and how does that affect global economic output, and then how does that trickle down to us?
Prosecutors claim the brother of former cabinet minister Renwood Wells was murdered due to a love triangle. Lyndon Williams is on trial for the August 4, 2019 murder of Cabero Wells, who was shot outside his Ridgeland Park apartment. Prosecutors allege Williams and Wells were both involved with the same woman. Jurors heard that Wells was a victim of this entangled web of love and lies. Williams has denied the allegations during his trial before Justice Janine Weish-Gomez. University of the Bahamas assuring students that delayed grant payments will be completed by the end of the week. It follows concerns raised by Student Government President Shante Deal. UB's statement this week confirmed that payments for January and February, including nursing, teachers, and work-study stipends, will appear on student accounts by Friday. Accommodation grants for returning students have already been processed. Education Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin apologized for the delay, saying her ministry is investigating the cause. In Parliament, she revealed that 225 students receive accommodation grants, 72 get nursing stipends, and 88 receive education stipends. Well, tonight, as part of our International Women's Day series, Sasha Lightbourne introduces us to Janesta Messam, a trailblazer in foreign affairs. Messam, the first ever honorary consul for the Bahamas in the Turks and Caicos Islands, shares her story and her hope that other women will follow in her footsteps.
Knowing that globally, 21% of diplomats are women, and having my counterparts shoulders to lean on, it really empowers me in the role of honorary consul.
That's honorary consul Janesta Messam. She serves the Bahamian government in the Turks and Caicos Islands and is the first in that post and first female, but she does not want to be the last.
We need to make our young girls aware that they are change makers, okay? And there's a role at the table in diplomacy for them, okay? Research has shown that when women sit in parliament, when women sit in cabinet, they pass laws that it's comfortable for the ordinary person, okay, in environment and the social cohort. So if we encourage our young women to get into the role now, you know, it makes it easier.
What advice would you give to young women who may be considering diplomacy but not sure, kind of on the fence about it?
My advice would be service above self, okay? As long as you're prepared to serve others, service above self, truthfulness, modesty, precision, and integrity.
And while she gave that advice to the future, I asked her how it feels to be recognized for International Women's Day.
This is truly a humbling honor. I'm elated being a mother of two adult daughters and raising granddaughters, looking up to me, you know, being recognized on the world stage is truly an honor, and I'm eternally grateful.
Tomorrow, we will introduce you to someone you've seen here on Our News before, Alveda Knight, the Consul General in Jamaica. Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sasha. What a great series. And you've got 2 more chances to watch what is happening, particularly as we celebrate International Women's Day. 2 more chances, 2 more stories to tell. We'll see that story that Sasha just told us about coming up in Our News tomorrow. All right, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Junkanoo, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. A beautiful day around the islands. We had a frontal boundary, went through the capital earlier this morning, and most of the northwest Bahamas. That's way in the southeast Bahamas right now. We showed on a satellite picture. But nice, comfortable temperatures behind that. 72 is our current temperature on the outside, mostly clear skies, and it is breezy. Winds out of the northwest at 15 miles per hour, bringing in that cooler air mass. Feels like temperature is at 69. Right now, it's 67 in Freeport, 63, very cool in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, 73 in Allenstown, Bimini, 69 in Great Harbor Key. Nicholstown, Andros, here in the capital, 72s, Governor's Harbor, 73. Central Bahamas, 76, Kemps Bay. We pick up 74s, Georgetown and Exuma, Copenhagen and Salvador. Arthurstown, Cat Island, 71, 75 in Deadman's Key and into the southeast Bahamas, 79 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Abrams Bay, Providenciales, all 79, 77 in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, 78, and Matthewtown in Agua, you are the warm spot, 81 degrees at this hour. Satellite radar composite, quiet across the area right now. Ridge of high pressure is building in, frontal boundary pushing into the central Bahamas this afternoon, now moving into the southeast Bahamas. Most of the activity associated with this front is now out towards the east and in the Atlantic. Like I said, we had a little bit of a breeze with that front come through, and we had some showers. Very brief, but that nice dry air mass behind that will continue to keep us very comfortable for the next couple of days. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, BAISS track and field is underway. We'll take a look back at a dynamic day one for the Queen's College Comets.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Pack your bags and bring your taste buds on another amazing adventure. Starting March 10th through the 14th, the Our News team is live from the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival at the Atlantis Resort, nightly at 7 and 7:30. As your official guides, we're giving you front row seats to world-renowned wine and spirit producers, award-winning chefs, culinary icons, and electrifying performances. An unforgettable week at the Wine and Food Festival starting March 10th with Our News.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basic.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. In what is expected to be 3 days of intense competition and another chapter in the rivalry between the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine and the Queen's College Comets, it was the Comets who took control on day one. The BAISS track and field got underway Wednesday morning at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, and the Comets topped the standings after the first day with 427.5 points. SAC was second with 397 points. The Temple Christian Sons were third with 172 points, while the St. John's Giants and St. Anne's Blue Waves were tied for fourth with 68 points. In his report on the mid-year budget in the House of Assembly, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg outlined how his administration's investment continues to aid development of sports in the country. Boleg touted the growth of the Sports in Paradise initiative, which has garnered regional recognition. Locally, the Department of Sports has also supported federations, the Elite Athlete Subvention Program, and more.
We have invested just over $1.96 million in the Department of Sports. This breakdown includes, but is not limited to, the annual and special grants award to federations thus far, financial assistance to student athletes, local clubs, and recreational organizations. Funds were granted for the hosting of local and international sporting events to all athletes enrolled in the Subvention and Elite Athletes program, and the $25,000 award to finalists at the Olympics.
In NCAA D2 basketball, Paul Green's standout senior season has led to an all-conference award, and he leads his team into the conference title game. Green, a senior at Southern New Hampshire University, was recognized as a Northeast 10 all-conference second-team selection. Hours later, he finished with 20 points and 11 rebounds in SNHU's 58-56 win over Bentley University last night. With the win, they're headed to the NE10 title game for the second consecutive season. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Democrat Al Green removed for disrupting Donald Trump's speech. Plus, CDC monitoring a mysterious deadly disease in Congo. What you need to know straight ahead. And over 1.2 million pounds of cocaine seized and 2 arrested in the Dominican Republic. The story when our news returns.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
The City of Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest. New edition. Tony Braxton. DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Live. Starring Ja Rule, Fat Joe, and Remy Ma. Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. Beanie Man. Escape. Coco Jones. Kim. Also, a special set featuring Miss Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, YG Marley, Busta Rhymes, Doechii, and many more. JITG Music Fest. March 8th and 9th at Hard Rock Stadium. Tickets at jazzinthegardens.com.
Tune in to Hot 91.7 for your chance to win a trip to Jazz in the Gardens.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world.
To uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
The Republican-led U.S. House has begun the process of censure for Democrat Al Green after he was removed from the chamber for shouting at President Donald Trump during his address Tuesday night. Green, a longtime Trump critic, waved his cane and refused to sit down as he protested potential Medicaid cuts. Republicans booed as he was escorted out A censure vote, which is a symbolic reprimand with no penalties, is expected in the coming days.
The rules were applied to me. I acknowledged it. I accept it, but I would do it again because I didn't do it for the Al Green who was there on the floor. I was doing it for people who need Medicaid, and the calling to help them doesn't go away by my being censured. I would do it again.
The Centers for Disease Control is closely monitoring a mysterious disease in the Democratic Republic of Congo that has killed at least 60 people and sickened over 1,000, the World Health Organization reported Tuesday. Ebola and Marburg have been ruled out, but officials suspect bacterial meningitis or chemical poisoning. The illness progresses rapidly, with deaths occurring within a day of symptoms like fever, muscle pain, stiff neck, and bleeding from the nose. Adolescents and young men seem most affected. And authorities in the Dominican Republic seized 548 packages of cocaine in a major drug bust. The National Directorate of Drug Control announced as much on Tuesday, saying that the operation was a joint effort with the Navy and Air Force. Forensic analysis confirmed the haul weighed over 1,245 pounds. 2 Dominican nationals were arrested aboard a speedboat near Beata Island. Well, a young scientist and environmentalist is making waves in the fight against climate change. And in this edition of Sustainability First, Joshua Williams introduces us to her mission, using her platform to amplify her eco-friendly message and make a real impact.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
Amber Turner may just be 24 years old, but she's doing her part in the fight against climate change. She's an advocate whose passion has led her to environmental degrees at both the bachelor's and master's levels. Her education, along with opportunities to travel, has allowed her to rub shoulders with leaders in the fight.
I have been to places such as Saudi Arabia and Antigua and Barbuda to represent the Bahamas at various climate conferences, and I have been able to advocate on social media. My platform is sustainability.
And while she's only been in the field for a short time, she's already seen the impacts climate change has had on our country.
We contribute very little to overall global emissions. However, we do feel majority of the impacts, whether that's intense storms, higher temperatures in the summer, prolonged summers, droughts, sea level rise, coral bleaching, so things of that nature.
Despite the looming threats, she still spends much of her time convincing Bahamians of the seriousness of the matter.
I vividly remember talking to a fisherman, and he blatantly said, well, I can't eat climate change. And understandably so, that people have more things on their plate to care about. I told the fisherman, well, you know, the coral reefs are bleaching and this impacts the marine industry, and this then impacts your livelihood. He had a better understanding of what was happening, and now he cares a little bit more about climate change.
And she says, in addition to educating yourself, you can be a part of making a difference in your own unique way.
And even how to make smaller steps to lessen your carbon footprint. So whether that's carpooling to work or investing in a reusable water bottle so you use less plastic, just small changes that everyone can make to be more conscientious of what's happening as it relates to the climate crisis.
Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Joshua Williams.
Still to come in Our News, Today in History. Find out interesting facts about the day that was March 6th. Then in Our News at 7:30, a Bahamas Air flight attendant accused of fleeing after a bag of cash was seized in Haiti. The airline now speaking out. Hear what they had to say straight ahead. And Grand Bahama Port Authority pushing back against claims it's causing delays to the $50 million Afro-Caribbean marketplace. We'll tell you its response to comments by the island's minister when Our News returns.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
The City of Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest. New edition. Tony Braxton. DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Live. Starring Ja Rule, Fat Joe, and Remy Ma. Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. Beanie Man. Escape. Coco Jones. Kim. Also, a special set featuring Miss Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, YG Marley, Busta Rhymes, Doechii, and many more. JITG Music Fest. March 8th and 9th at Hard Rock Stadium. Tickets at jazzinthegardens.com.
Tune in to Hot 91.7 for your chance to win a trip to Jazz in the Gardens.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Pack your bags and bring your taste buds on another amazing adventure. Starting March 10th through the 14th, the Our News team is live from the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival at the Atlantis Resort, nightly at 7 and 7:30. As your official guides, we're giving you front row seats to world-renowned wine and spirit producers, award-winning chefs, culinary icons, and
This is Our News. Welcome back. On this day in Bahamian history, in 1835, St. John's Native Baptist Church on Meeting Street was dedicated. In 1916, Donald Webster Davis, the godfather of education, was born. He introduced innovations like Parent Teachers Day and the Cambridge exams. He died in 1971. And in 1963, Yama, Bahama, William Horatio Butler Jr. fought his last professional match in Bimini against Harry Monroe. And in 2013, a fire broke out at police headquarters on East Street. Embers from a routine burn caused minor damages, but were quickly contained. If you want to learn more about the day that was March 6th, head over to ournews.bs and, of course, Our News Bahamas on Facebook. All right, how often have you had a night at the ballet, or have you ever experienced one at all? If you're in New Providence this weekend, then you've got a chance to see a show featuring some of the world's best ballet dancers. Danielle Miller tells us how Bahamians are playing a major role in the classical event.
One of the things I love most is when I've managed to persuade people who've never been to see ballet or dance to come and see what we do.
Matthew Brady is the director of the UK-based Covent Garden Dance Company, and for the second year, they will host a grand display of a few of the world's best ballet dancers. The show is called Iconic, and this year it's being held at the Old Fort Bay Club. Brady says there will not only be a show to remember, but also scenic views and gourmet dining.
One of the most touching things was watching all of the, we had 25 staff there who were watching from the sides, and the majority of them came up afterwards and just went, I'd never seen it before.
Organizers described last year's debut event as breathtaking. This year, they plan to steal our hearts as they shine the spotlight on former Alvin Ailey dance theater professional Courtney Celeste Spears. Iconic will feature Spears in an all-new, deeply personal piece celebrating Bahamian culture, highlighting Bahamian talent such as jazz artist Giverton Gillen and fashion visionaire Felicia Ellis.
They're all here for one purpose, which is to bring the show.
The exclusive gala takes place March 7th and 8th with a matinee show for kids on March 9th. For more information, visit www.coventgardendance.com. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much for that, Danielle, and we'll see Danielle in just a bit because Thursday, as you know, here is the new Friday. Before we get to Thursday's new Friday, though, Hot 91 and Our News are teaming up to get you to this year's Jazz in the Gardens, March 8th and 9th. That's this weekend, featuring Lauryn Hill, New Edition, Tony Braxton, Beanie Man, and more. So be sure to listen in to Hot 91 weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Jazz in the Gardens code phrase. Once you hear the phrase, you got to head over to hot91fm.com or the Music Media 242 app contest page to enter. The winner receives round-trip tickets, hotel, and concert tickets for you and a friend. And you've got to look out for the Our News team because we will also be on the ground. In fact, it's our Danielle Miller. She will be there to tell us all about the experience, and you can tell her all about yours. It's the Jazz in the Gardens Fly Away promotion. All right, that's going to do it for us in News at 7. But before we toss to 7:30, as you know, Thursday is the new Friday here at Our News, and we want you to have some fun with us. Danielle Miller, she is our entertainment correspondent. She will certainly bring us the fun. Denny, I know that you're looking to get a jump start on the weekend. So what's the latest and where are you now?
Hey, Ken. I am at my hair salon, Beauty and Beat Co., getting ready for Jazz in the Gardens at Miami Gardens. If you didn't know, we've been saying it all weekend. We will be on the ground giving you all of the highlights. And a lot of women know before you fly out, it's the Beauty Olympics. So I'm making sure that I get myself right. But you want to know what else I'll be doing? Well, I only doing one thing this weekend. So watch Thursdays, New Fridays on our social media page right now and comment on which artist you're most excited to see perform so we can make sure, take the video, post it in our stories for you to see. And for your weekly dose of entertainment news, tune into our 7:30 p.m. broadcast. All right, guys and gals, until next weekend, deuces. Back to you in studio, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Denny.
Thanks so much, Denny. Ken, have you heard about the Beauty Olympics?
First of all, I was going to ask you.
It's a whole thing. So before you go on the vacation, it's like another vacation where you have to go and get your hair done, your nails done. You're racing against the clock.
So it's like that moment to pamper yourself before you go?
Yeah, because you got to look good. Good, as the younger people say in the airport.
I thought folks used to leave that for like when they got there, though.
No.
Okay, you do that before you go.
Yeah,
I got
before you go. So you rush in, you got the nail, the hair, the lashes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. All right. Well, we'll have more on Danielle's escapades in just a bit. But for now, here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, one day after the Prime Minister defended his administration's travel spending, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis isn't buying it, accusing them of wasting millions on what he calls luxury travel. Plus, the Grand Bahama Port Authority President Ian Roll pushing back on claims that the GBPA is responsible for delays to the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace project. At the International Bazaar, Roll says the GBPA isn't holding up the deal. We have his full comment straight ahead. Also, Bahamas Air is addressing reports that a flight attendant is on the run after authorities in Haiti seized over $100,000 from a flight arriving from Nassau. We have the latest, and later, the Bahamas Humane Society is facing a major setback after one of its animal ambulances was vandalized. The nonprofit sharing video of the damage, which they say will cost thousands to repair. Our Joshua Williams has the story when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. One day after the Prime Minister defended his administration's travel spending, insisting the benefits outweigh the costs, the former Prime Minister isn't convinced. During his contribution to the mid-year budget debate, Dr. Hubert Minnis ripped into the Davis administration, accusing them of wasting millions on what he calls luxury travel. Our Berthany McDermott has the story.
They are all over the place, shuffling money from this allocation and that allocation to feed their massive appetite for travel and living their best life.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis didn't hold back, slamming the government for what he says is excessive spending on travel, just one day after the Prime Minister defended the costs. The mid-year budget report shows government spent $10 million on travel and subsistence between July and December 2024, with an additional $2 million allocated for travel under the Office of the Prime Minister.
Then there is the constant luxury travel. The millions and millions that are being wasted by the PLP on living the good life abroad is extraordinary.
Dr. Minnis didn't stop there. He took aim at the country's fiscal health, arguing that money should be spent on more critical issues rather than first-class flights and five-star hotels. And in a scathing critique, he accused the Davis administration of having no plan, no idea, and no growth, declaring that the math isn't mathing.
In the context of this slowing economy, the PLP is spending like there is no tomorrow on its supporters. The deficit is much higher than was forecast. The member for St. Barnabas has pointed out that this New Day administration has already spent nearly $250 million on consultants.
Despite his scathing criticism of the Davis administration's spending, in the end, the former Prime Minister voted in favor of government's mid-year budget. Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks so much, Berthany. Well, Grand Bahama Port Authority President Ian Roll is pushing back against claims that the Port Authority is responsible for delays for the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace project and the Grand Bahamas International Bazaar. Roll says the GBPA is not holding up the deal, revealing that no financial plan has been presented to them. His response comes after Grand Bahama Minister Ginger Moxie told Parliament that while government is ready to move forward with the project, the GBPA is not the reason for the hold-up. East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson requested an update on the project, leading to Moxie's remarks. The $50 million marketplace announced in June 2024 was expected to serve as a retail center for authentic Caribbean and African goods. However, nearly a year later, no physical progress has been made.
We made it known that we are willing to work with the government. There's no financial business plan. In every business deal, you must have a financial plan. You must have a business plan to determine if a deal is feasible. We have not seen that, and I don't think one exists. So once we see a feasible plan, we are willing to do our part to facilitate anything that will bring new life into that international bazaar area.
Now the GBPA has taken a lot of flack for the decline of Freeport. Roll maintains projects take time, and the port has been doing a lot.
These transactions, they don't take 2 years, they don't take 3 years. Some of them don't take 4 or 5 years. And we, the Port Authority, have been, from the very beginning, attracting and meeting with these relevant parties. Like, take, for instance, the Carnival deal. That probably started from 2006-7, right? Now, at the end of the day, the government and the Port Authority have to work together. No matter what the deal is, we all, at the end of the day, we must work together because we all play our part.
Bahamas Air addressing recent claims that a flight attendant is on the run following the seizure of over $100,000 at the Hugo Chavez Cap Haitian International Airport. According to an article posted by the Haitian Times, a media outlet in Haiti, agents from Haiti's Brigade for the Fight Against Drug Trafficking arrested a Haitian man and woman on March 1st, 2025, after seizing a bag of cash from a Bahamas Air flight arriving from Nassau. However, the flight attendant allegedly involved in handing over the money reportedly fled back to Nassau before she could be detained. A source speaking on the condition due to employer restrictions confirmed the attendant's swift departure. In response, Bahamas Air released a statement Thursday noting that they are aware of the alleged incident on March 1st involving one of their flights from Nassau. Officials say they are taking the matter very seriously and are reviewing all relevant procedures to ensure stringent security measures are upheld. The airlines say they are fully cooperating with the Haitian National Police and other relevant authorities. In addition, the Royal Bahamas Police Force and local Interpol have been contacted to launch an investigation. Now the airline has several flights to Cape Haitian from New Providence per week. We will continue to follow this developing story. A judge has refused to reinstate bail for a man accused of double murder over fears that he won't appear for his trial. Keontae Pinder's bail was revoked in 2024 after he missed a scheduled trial date. The 25-year-old is accused of the murders of Richard Bethel and Dejourne Simonet and the attempted murder of Roland Brown on February 16, 2018. The charges stem from a shooting in Pinewood Gardens. Justice Neil Brathwaite said it would be a travesty to release Pinder since he had previously failed to appear for trial. Pinder is scheduled to be tried in May. His co-accused, Malik Fernando, was murdered in Eleuthera back in 2022. Well, a man on bail for 2 murders is back behind bars after he was allegedly found with 2 pistols and ammunition. Police arrested 23-year-old Mario Kofi on March 1st after he was allegedly found with 2 pistols and 19 rounds of ammunition. He denied the charges at his arraignment before Magistrate Lennox Colby. He was denied bail because at the time of his arrest, he was on bail for 2 murders in which a gun was used. Prosecutors say he shot and killed Trayvon Joseph and attempted to murder Nelson Adderley on December 30th, 2022. They were both shot while outside a home on Key West Street. He's also accused of the June 24, 2021 shooting death of Gladstone Francis and the attempted murder of Savannah Francis. They were both shot in a drive-by shooting on First Street. Well, the Bahamas Humane Society facing a major setback after one of their animal ambulances was vandalized. The nonprofit posting a video of the damage that they say will cost thousands of dollars to repair. Joshua Williams spoke to management this morning, who says while it's discouraging, they'll continue to carry out the mandate to care for animals.
Workers at the Bahamas Humane Society were in for a shocking surprise when they came to work on February 2nd. One of their animal ambulances was vandalized. Video shows the inside completely gutted. Parts of the interior are missing. Shelter manager Percy Grant says it was so bad the insurance company originally wrote off the vehicle, but it's now in for repairs.
We've never had anything like that happen to us before. And particularly looking at, as you see the footage, the degree of that in which the person took their time and dismantled the entire ignition area and the dashboard area. I mean, they were quite skillful.
The Humane Society has been a staple in the community for over 100 years, providing care for animals. And as a non-profit organization that relies on donations from residents and corporate Bahamas, Grant says all of their assets are extremely valuable to them.
You have to do a lot of animal rescues. If it's an emergency, hit by car, stuff like that, we're here. And so it has really crippled us. And so we depend on, we have a small little van, which is not suitable, but we also have the assistance of our staff member who has a side business, who has a AAA ambulance services, who is now assisting us at times when we have a serious situation.
And for the perpetrators?
Just be conscious of whoever you are, the work of the Humane Society, that you have crippled a situation where we could have saved the life of an animal that was in distress. And now because of your cruel intent, that we can't do it, and we can't do it in a timely fashion.
Now, despite what happened here at the Humane Society, Grant says workers and volunteers here won't be deterred from their mission.
It's a bit daunting because, we work so hard and we do so much for the general public. We couldn't imagine. So obviously we won't be parking the bus in the front of here, in the front of the building anymore. And we're just going to try our best and hope that we get back on our feet.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, nice weather around the islands today, but how long will it last? Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. cooler air mass with us now. 72 degrees is our current temperature under mostly clear skies. It is a bit on the breezy side. The winds out of the northwest at 15 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 69. Satellite radar composite, frontal boundary, weakening as we speak, pushing into the central Bahamas this afternoon, now moving into the southeast Bahamas. Most of the activity with the front out in the open Atlantic. We did have a brief line of showers move through the capital earlier today, and that line did actually move through the northwest Bahamas. But most of the activity will be waning. High pressures building behind. Nice cooler temperatures expected. Looking for a beautiful, beautiful end to the week. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, the Shell Saxon superstars celebrating 60 years of Junkanoo. During a press conference, the group announced plans to deepen their community involvement this year. Also, the Church of God of Prophecy is gearing up for a powerful weekend, hosting its 98th convention. We have the full story coming up. And later, with Jazz in the Gardens just days away, a U.S. government official is expressing his support for the orange economy, highlighting how cultural festivals contribute to economic growth in Miami, Florida. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Pack your bags and bring your taste buds on another amazing adventure. Starting March 10th through the 14th, the Our News team is live from the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival at the Atlantis Resort, nightly at 7 and 7:30. As your official guides, we're giving you front row seats to world-renowned wine and spirit producers, award-winning chefs, culinary icons, and electrifying performances. An unforgettable week at the Wine and Food Festival starting March 10th with Our News.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
The legendary Junkanoo group Shell Saxon Superstars are celebrating more than 4 consecutive Junkanoo wins this year. They're also celebrating 60 years of existence. At a press conference on Wednesday at the Bahama Resort, the Saxons announced they're set to deepen their community involvement as they will be participating in various local initiatives this year. They've even secured 4 acres of land in New Providence that will serve as the new home for the group. Leader Percy Vola Francis reminisced about the group's past and shared how far they've come over the decades. In honor of this milestone, a comprehensive memoir in booklet form will launch in June. Corporate Bahamas is being asked to get involved.
We definitely want to have a history lesson to be taught. All right. We have some serious work to do. And we are beginning this booklet launch today to sensitize the public and, of course, Corporate Bahamas and all others who wish to make a contribution to getting a full page, half page, however, in this booklet. This is going to be very, very colorful.
When our news comes back from the break, with Jazz in the Gardens just days away, a U.S. government official is expressing his support for the orange economy. Our Daniel Miller has the story coming up.
Coming up in sports, QC tops the standings on day 1 of the BAISS track and field meet, and we'll tell you how sports factored into the mid-year budget report.
And the day started off with heavy showers in the capital. Wondering what else we can expect? Craig is back with your full weather forecast when our news returns.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. In what is expected to be 3 days of intense competition and another chapter in the rivalry between the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine and the Queen's College Comets, it was the Comets who took control on day one. The BAISS track and field got underway Wednesday morning at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, and the Comets topped the standings after the first day with 427.5 points. SAC was second with 397 points. The Temple Christian Sons were third with 172 points, while the St. John's Giants and St. Anne's Blue Waves were tied for fourth with 68 points. The Comets won 9 of the 14 field events on day one, led by record-breaking performances in the javelin. QC's Akil Williams set a new BAISS record in the under-15 boys event at 58.43 meters, while Tasha Stubbs did the same in the under-20 women's event at 45.98 meters. On the track, the Big Red Machine won 4 of the 6 sprint hurdles and 4 of the 8 400-meter races. The Comets' Jemiah Nabi reached a pair of Carifta qualifying standards after she won the under-20 girls high jump, and in one of the most thrilling races of the day, finished second to SAC's Alexis Roberts in the 400 meters. The Big Red Machine are chasing their 5th consecutive meet title. In his report on the mid-year budget in the House of Assembly, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg outlined how his administration's investment continues to aid development of sports in the country. Boleg touted the growth of the Sports in Paradise initiative, which has garnered regional recognition. Locally, the Department of Sports has also supported federations, the Elite Athlete Subvention Program, and more.
We have invested just over $1.96 million in the Department of Sports. This breakdown includes, but is not limited to, the annual and special grants award to federations thus far, financial assistance to student athletes, local clubs, and recreational organizations. Funds were granted for the hosting of local and international sporting events to all athletes enrolled in the Subvention and Elite Athletes program, and the $25,000 award to finalists at the Olympics.
In NCAA D2 basketball, Paul Green's standout senior season has led to an all-conference award, and he leads his team into the conference title game. Green, a senior at Southern New Hampshire University, was recognized as a Northeast 10 all-conference second-team selection. Hours later, he finished with 20 points and 11 rebounds in SNHU's 58-56 win over Bentley University last night. With the win, they're headed to the NE10 title game for the second consecutive season. Over the course of the season, Green has averaged 13.5 points, 12.1 rebounds, and 1.9 steals per game while shooting 51% from the field. He also leads the conference with 18 double-doubles and ranks second in steals. Nationally, Green leads Division II in defensive rebounding and is third in double-doubles. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. You know what should have been in the mid-year budget report? If only there was a way to platform live sports and take it to the masses. If only someone would do that. Anyway, back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the Jazz in the Gardens music festival is just hours away tonight. A U.S. government official is weighing in on the impact of events such as these. And Greg is back with your extended forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
This is our news. Welcome back. Frontal boundary now down in the southeast Bahamas with some isolated showers along that boundary. Most of the activity in the open Atlantic associated with the front. High pressures building in that kept us rather breezy for the last couple of days. Those winds expected to fall off starting tomorrow, and we expect those winds to continue to fall off even further throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend. Future forecast showing the moisture associated with that boundary well out there in the open Atlantic gone. High pressure and quiet conditions across us. That will take us into Friday. And the same as for Saturday. So if you have plans for the outdoors on the weekend, it would be good to get out there and enjoy. Boating forecast. Advisory is posted for the Atlantic waters. Caution flag inside the islands. High risk, rip current risk still in place. The winds northwest and north behind that front, but they will be shifting, becoming northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots tomorrow, and they will continue to fall off seas 4 to 6, but up to 8 feet along Atlantic exposures. Low tide is at 7:07, high tide at 1:43 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, just beautiful conditions expected for the balance of the week and into the weekend. We have one day that we will stay in the 70s. Temperature will be back into the 80s. Then we expect another front for early next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. Well, in the Bahamas, government officials have expressed their support for the orange economy, as music festival culture will be highlighted this weekend with our Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival coverage. We discuss how festival culture can be beneficial for everyone. Our Daniel Miller reports.
We have the environment for it. We have the artists. It's a great opportunity, really, to promote what we call our orange economy.
Those were the sentiments shared by Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper at the 15th Annual Jazz in the Gardens Music Festival. Now, in its 18th year, the festival continues to gain popularity, and from what I'm told, it creates unforgettable moments for anyone who's attended. Recently, I spoke with the mayor of Miami Gardens, Rodney Harris, who told me about the impact the festival has had on the city.
The city of Miami Gardens, we've done a great job with making sure that our small businesses are taken care of. They participate in jazz. A lot of the food trucks that's around, they participate in jazz. And the economic impact that it brings to South Florida in general is a tremendous amount of money that comes.
Mayor Harris says while the economic rewards are great, the social impact it brings is priceless.
We enjoy the fact that people have an opportunity to come from other places and see how Miami Gardens residents, the hospitality that we have, as well as to learn more about what's going on in the city of Miami Gardens and how our story is told.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much, Denny. Well, Hot 91 and Our News are teaming up to get you to this year's Jazz in the Gardens, March 8th and 9th, featuring Lauryn Hill, New Edition, Tony Braxton, Beanie Man, and more. Be sure to listen in to Hot 91 weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Jazz in the Gardens code phrase. Once you hear it, head over to hot91fm.com or the Music Media 242 app contests page to enter. The winner will receive round-trip tickets, hotel, and concert tickets for you and a friend. And be sure to look out for the Our News team to tell us all about your experience. It's the Jazz in the Gardens Flyaway promotion. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.